Hello, grade 9 students. I hope you are safe and sound. Our lesson today is about inversion. Alright, first let's take a look at the word order in English sentences in normal cases. You are hungry. You see here, you, the subject, is followed by the verb are. So this is the normal word order for English sentences, subject followed by a verb. So tell me, do you know any other cases where the verb comes before the subject? Yes, in questions, yes, no questions. Let's see. Are you hungry? You see, when you want to ask a yes, no question, you start with the verb and then with the subject. Are you hungry? Alright, so this change of word order is called inversion. Our lesson today, it doesn't talk about the inversion in questions, it talks about the inversion in sentences. Why to use inversion in sentences? Inversion is used to add emphasis or dramatic effect, like this. In no way do I agree with what you are saying. So here she wants to focus on the negativity, that it's in no way she would agree with what he was saying, alright? Let's take some examples. They have never been to Paris. Here we don't have inversion, it's a regular sentence, it has no emphasis on anything. Never have they been to Paris. You see here we have inversion and it starts with never. The verb comes then before the subject. He didn't speak a word. Not a word did he speak. You see, in the second sentence where it starts with not, we have the verb did comes before the subject he. Both sentences mean the same thing, but the second sentence is more emphatic, the sentence that starts with negative word, alright? When do we use inversion? Of course we use inversion in questions like we saw earlier, but we also use inversion when the sentence begins with negative word. Like what? Here are some negative adverbs and adverb phrases that we often use with inversion. Hardly, only later, never, nowhere, seldom, little, rarely, under no circumstances, only then, in no way, not only but, on no condition, no sooner, scarcely, not until. And notice here with not until, the inversion comes in the second part of the sentence. I'll show it in the example. Examples. Hardly had I got into bed when the telephone rang. You see here, because the sentence starts with hardly, which is a negative word, we have had comes before the subject I. Never had she seen such a beautiful sight before. The same thing here. It starts with never, which is a negative word. We have the verb had coming before the subject she. Only then did I understand why the tragedy had happened. The same thing here. Not only does he love chocolate and sweets, but he also smokes. The same thing here. You see, the inversion is in the first part of the sentence and not in the second part. He also smokes. The subject comes before the verb. It's because it's the second part of the sentence. No sooner had we arrived home than the police rang the doorbell. The same thing here. Not until. Focus here on not until. You see, not until I saw Ali with my own eyes did I really believe that he was safe. Here the change comes in the second part of the sentence. You see the first part, I saw Ali, so I is the subject, precedes so the verb. But in the second part, did I really believe, did precedes I, because we have not until at the beginning of the sentence, alright? To conclude, inversion happens when we invert the normal word order of a structure, most commonly the subject word, subject verb word order. So when we talk about inversion in grammar, you know that we talk about subject verb word order. It happens when the sentence starts with a negative word. Alright, we talk about statements ending with a period and not with a question. So this happens when the sentences start with a negative word. Thank you, that's all for today.